right. Hello, YouTube. It's been a while since I've been on here. Anyway, welcome back to the Spiritual Warrior program and channel. Today, what we're going to be talking about is communication, particularly communicating around text messaging. So we communicate all day long. We have all these like various ways we can communicate: text, direct messaging, Facebook. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There's like a million ways to communicate. And then there's the face-to-face communication. And what's interesting in all of this technology and all of this advancement and all of these ways that we can, oh, hey, Barbara, that we can communicate, there's lots of breakdown, and it seems to be getting more and more complicated. And what I've been noticing is that people are in more breakdown around communication and connection than they have been normally or in the past. And I have many theories around that, but I'm not going to go into that today. What we're going to go into today is how to connect authentically through text messaging, because we are texting people all day long. And text is one of those things where it's open to interpretation. It's open to interpretation. So we are moving into a place where we're going to be teaching a lot about connection, communication, and intimacy, because this is where I've been seeing the gaps and where I've been seeing where people are just in breakdown a lot around communication, not talking to each other, and people are actually craving connection now more than ever. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's been my experience. But people are craving connection. People do not want to be in the lone wolf anymore. People want to find their clan. People want to find their community. And so one of the ways that creates breakdown is by not having really great communication skills. So let's talk about the text messaging. We text all day. We've become a texting culture. And in fact, I'm guilty of this. I don't know if you are. Sometimes I don't even want to answer my phone anymore, especially if I'm busy or I'm not in the mood to talk. It's like text messaging is this really, really convenient way to talk to somebody. And sometimes I don't want to talk on the phone, but I notice that sometimes I don't even check my voicemail. I'm like, people are like, I left you a voicemail. I'm like, I don't check my voicemail. I'm sorry. Because so many of us have moved to text, and text is one of those things that can be left up to interpretation. Thank goodness I'm not dating right now in the texting world, because holy moly, that would be hard. That would be hard because there's so much interpretation in the ghosting, and like there's a lot of expectation too. Like you text someone and people expect a response because it's so fast, and they're like, wait, you haven't texted me back in like 2 or 3 hours. What's up? So what I really like to talk about today is, one, how to communicate effectively through text messaging, and two, this piece is really important, is to not make up stories and interpretations around people's texts. So what I mean by that is, when someone sends you a text, and everybody's got a different kind of texting style. Some people like overdo it. I can be that way too. Lots of emojis, sending lots of love, lots of exclamation points. So there are the heavy like love over texting people, not over texting, but they'll really, really go for like this, like that piece. There's those kinds of texters. There's the short one answer texters, like, hey, would you like to go get dinner tomorrow night? Yup. That's like it. Like, yup. Awesome. Okay. And then you get to do a follow-up text. Great. What time works for you? 7. Like there's no excitement in the texting. It's just these very curt one. That's how I look. See, that's my interpretation. I said they're curt, but these very like quick texts. There are those people. There are people like my husband, and the way he texts, it's not the little like one word here and there, but there's no nuances to his texting. It's just, hi, how's your day? Great. My day's great. How's yours? Right? very vanilla, like very bland in that type of texting. And then there's the people that can be kind of assholey on text because they're hidden behind a screen, and it may come across as they may be communicating things to you that they're either upset about or they don't like, or they're, and I've been guilty of that before, of texting something that I want to give someone feedback on, or I've been upset about, and I text it and it just comes out all wrong because we can't really know what people mean. We don't see them, we don't hear them, we just get words on a screen. Words on a screen. Okay, so there's like these different, I'm sure I'm missing some, but there's different types of texting styles. But here's where your mastery gets to come in, and where my mastery gets to come in is where we don't place meaning on the text. Super hard, right? Like creating this place of neutrality where everything is neutral, even the texts that come through. It's when we start to make up stories about what they mean or dive deeper. And like I said, I'm so grateful that I'm not dating right now, because I've seen my friends diagnose a text message from the person they like and go into deep diagnosis over a text. Like, what does this mean? What does this word mean? Oh, he put an exclamation point here. Ooh, he waited 20 minutes to text me on Friday back. Today, he didn't text me back for like 3 hours. And there's all this meaning when usually it's not that deep, right? It's not that deep. So like the stretch is to be really neutral and not go into making up stories. Where I am also guilty is sometimes I'll get like go into story that someone's mad at me or they don't like me anymore, especially if I don't hear back from them for a day or two. If I'm in a certain type of state of mind, and if I'm not really watching myself and I'm not grounded, I can go into that state of worry of like, oh my gosh, do they like me anymore? Or maybe they're upset with me, or maybe they don't, there's all these maybes, the maybe land. Maybe this happened. Maybe they think this, maybe they think that. I'm in maybe land, when maybe they're just busy, or maybe they didn't get the text, or maybe they're like me, who gets a bazillion texts a day and I miss some sometimes. I'm so guilty of that. I get a lot of texts all day, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that person texted me like 3 days ago and I didn't respond. And that person could be in their maybes, like, oh, Beth didn't text me back for 3 days. Maybe she's this, maybe. And it's never any of that. It's just the maybe is I didn't see it, or the maybe is I got distracted. So the stretch is to not make up a story and stay in your power and remain neutral around these texts, because it will create so much more peace in your being, so much more peace in your being if you remain neutral and don't place meaning on them. And here is where we're going to go a little step further today, is mastering the follow-up. If there is a message, if there is a message and someone has not texted you back, instead of going into maybe land, give them some space, like get appropriate amount of time. It's been a day or two, or maybe it's been a few hours and you actually really do need a response for them. And you've remained neutral in your power. You send a powerful text back. Hey, I don't know if you saw this or not. Could you respond back? Or, hey, just wondering if you saw this. I just want to remind you X, Y, and Z. I'd love to get a response to you by 5:00 tonight. Like if it's something that you need a response on, or maybe it's a friend you haven't heard from. Hey, it's been a couple days. I'm just wondering if you're okay and if we can connect soon. The powerful follow-up, not from a victim-y place, not from a blaming place, not from a place of like, they don't like me anymore. People often 9.9999 times out of 10 appreciate a follow-up. They appreciate a follow-up text. I know I do, as someone who gets lots of texts, that if I don't text someone back, I appreciate that. Hey, did you see this? Oh my gosh, no, thank you so much for following up with me. Great. Awesome. And I will text back. But I've also gotten snarky texts of like, Beth, you didn't follow up with this. What's going on? Or like just kind of bitch, like which would appear snarky and bitchy. Again, my interpretation, but that's how it appears. So the follow-up, there's mastery in the follow-up. Leaders and people with amazing communication skills and connection skills, they follow up with power. They follow up with love. They follow up from a place of wanting to authentically connect. So if you find yourself in a place where someone hasn't texted you back, especially if you really need the information from them. Sorry, someone was in my backyard, but I forgot who's that man out there? The landscaper is planting plants, but which means my dog is about to go berserk. So leaders, master communicators know how to powerfully follow up. And here is the last thing I will leave you with for today, because this is a really big conversation around texting because we do it all day long. If someone is texting you and it is upsetting you, or you are in an interpretation and you really want clarity, guess what? You can ask for it. Hey, you sent a text to me earlier today, and I would really love clarity from you, because what I heard was this, or the story I made up is this. Can I get some clarity? Or you don't even have to go into that and just be like, oh, can I get some clarity on that text that you just sent me? I'm not really understanding you. So ask for clarity. Be a leader within your communication, and that will create such deep connection and opening and trust. When people ask for clarity, take the time. Sorry, she's really loud. Take the time to write back, not go into story, go into defensiveness, but just simply like, hey, I need some clarity. I would love clarity on your text. It's so powerful. And that's coming from a powerful place of connection. And then people feel like they can trust you way more when you're not in that place of making up stories and victimy. We're texting all day, so practice this in your next text. So to leave you with texting, you're going to work on being neutral, not placing any kind of meaning on text that people send you, because everybody's different in their style. 2, if you really you really want to follow up with someone, especially if there's something like that you need or you want a response, follow up powerfully and lovingly and clearly. Hey, I'm just following up with you. You may not have seen this. I so appreciate when people do that. Or 3, hey, get clarity. I'm really kind of confused by your text, and you can make a joke out of it, like put a funny emoji or something, make it light. Could you add clarity to this? Could you give me some clarity around this? That is the masterful piece of communication. And then you're coming from a place of power. It's when we go into maybe land and story land and interpretation land is when things can get really wobbly and go sideways. We're texting all day. We might as well master how to be an incredible communicator with trust. So I would love to leave you with this. I have a free event coming up on August 17th. My dog. It's called Codes of Connection. And we're going to be talking about things just like this: how to become a master communicator, how to masterfully connect with people from a place of power and confidence. So it's a free event on August 17th. I'm going to drop the link in the comments. Join us, and it'll be life-changing for you in teaching you how to communicate with so much confidence. And that creates trust for people. All right. I will see you next week, and sign up below. I'll drop the link right now. Have a great day. Yay. Barbara's going to be there. It's going to be fun. It's actually going to be an incredibly fun event. So I'll see you there, and very informative and helpful. I got to go deal with my dog.